I first saw Tom Curren surf in a WSA contest at Seikos in 1977. The very first wave I saw him surf, I said, he'll be a world champion. He's the best surfer I've ever seen.
I've been sitting around for way too long, and the world is looking like it's getting smaller by the minute. I am bound up in chains, and I just have to say, let me run like the horses on the range, and I promise you I'll never, ever complain. Let me run from all these years of wasted space, and I promise you I'll never, ever change. These chains.
A two-time West Coast, United States, and world amateur champion, Tom was an enigma. Someone who could effortlessly outsurf the competition.
It was a completely accepted thing that Tom Curren was going to rise to the top and be the biggest thing in California surfing. It was never questioned. Every older guy, even the grumpy old guys in Santa Barbara, knew that there's something real special about Tom.
He got really busy where he was surfing, probably 3 contests a month, pretty much dominating, winning everything. And a young kid, he was just biting at the bit just to get on the tour, and get out there and do it. And both Janine and I were holding him back. It seemed to me it was a real battle holding him back because he was really discouraged with amateur surfing.
I got good results in the Caton Pro-Am, and I could have kept the money, but I didn't keep the money, and we didn't have any money, but I wanted to wait. I had to retain my amateur status so I could compete in the world titles and all this kind of stuff. It's just, it was pretty much unheard of. And that was my mom and of course, Al.
Turned out to be just a blessing, because he went to Australia and won the world title, amateur title. And of course, that made him so valuable to his sponsors.
Al negotiated Tom's first sponsorship deals with OP and Rip Curl, and by 1982, Tom was dominating the Pro Tour. Money began flowing into pro surfing during the mid-1980s, and Tom Curren would go on to win the very famous OP Pro in Huntington Beach in 1983 and 1984, cementing an already stellar reputation among the huge crowd in California.
For me, it was pretty intense. Huntington's such a amphitheater setup where you have people on the pier, on the beach. It's like an echo stadium kind of effect.
Like most of the professional surfers in the 80s, Tom kept to himself and focused on winning. His first title came in 1985, then again in 1986, winning 5 tour events with more money and more visibility than ever. Tom had literally taken pro surfing to its highest peak.
Tommy had such an influence in the world of surfing. He was the one at that time. He was the one that came. There's been a few people in surfing that have come into the sport and changed it. And Tommy came into the sport and changed it. Changed the way everybody looked at it, changed the way everybody approached their surfing, and changed a lot of minds on surfboards.
By the late 80s, Tom had lost his desire to compete and retreated to France with his then-wife Marie and their 2 children. The surfing world began to wonder if Tom would ever resurface again. Curren did the impossible in 1990. He made an unprecedented comeback to the tour. Rated a lowly 55th, he fought his way through the trials of the contests that he did not receive a wild card entry into, and went on to win 7 pro contests to take back the world title yet again. It was an unbelievable performance. In super competitive pro surfing, that is an act that will never happen again.
No, it won't ever happen again. It was, a Tommy year is just a phenomenal thing that he accomplished, He had the desire to do it, and he went out and did it.
Dropping off the tour and then wanting to come back and win. you know, him coming up through the trials and winning those titles and winning that third world title, it really just shows how absolutely competitive he really could be and really was. I think it almost is like the classic case of you have this intense competitor, and then suddenly after the contests are over and you're saying, well, I've done all I can do, it's time to move on to a new phase. Well, what is that new phase? After what he's done, you know, what do you do? Is just going surfing enough? I didn't think so.
Tom Curren switched gears in 1993, free surfing around the world for the Rip Curl video series, The Search. He remained popular among fans that not just saw him as an incredible surfer, but the ultimate surfing anti-hero.